somebody here said, "Welp gang, I wouldn't recommend trying to commission if you're a queer person, I guess," a bunch of question marks. And they posted the screenshot that says, "Hi, hello Richie, I was reviewing the waitlist and came across your Yume ship request. I truly apologize for the mistake of adding you before carefully reviewing it. Unfortunately, I won't be able to work on this piece as I don't draw queer couples. Please know it's absolutely nothing against your character or idea. It simply comes from my personal religious belief, and I'm trying to stay faithful to that. I deeply apologize for not clarifying this earlier and for any inconvenience or disappointment this may cause. I'm sincerely grateful for your interest in Nekomission, and I truly appreciate your understanding. Thank you so much again, and I'm really sorry for the oversight." And I think this was a very, very nice way of putting it. I've had artists who have been like, "I don't feel like I could do your commission justice. I don't feel like I could do the metallic work that you're asking for. I don't feel like I could do the type of design work you're asking for." And you guys have probably seen it, and I don't have it on hand at the moment, but the artwork of me biting a guy's hand, the artist I worked with for that art piece, he pretty much only drew males. And he was like, I want to let you know up front, you know, I've only drawn male characters. I don't have much practice drawing female characters. I'd really love to do your commission. I like the nice things you have to say about the way I draw expressions and teeth. I'd love to try doing this for you. I just might need a bit of help making it look more feminine because I'm used to drawing men. And I was like, "Hey, no problem, bro. Let's fucking go at it," right? And if he had been like, "Hey, you know, I only draw men. I haven't drawn women before," I wouldn't feel comfortable taking on your commission. Of course, I'd be disappointed because I love his expressions. I love the way his art looks. I love his teeth. But if he had said that, I would have been like, "Okay, bro, I understand," you know? He'd leave them on red. These people want you to bake the homosexual cake, whether you like it or not. Like, I get it. I get that it feels disappointing when an artist tells you this, but it's like, I feel like the artist did it respectfully. If I tried to commission like couples artwork and they were just like, "Hey, you know, I don't really do couples artwork," I'd be like, "Well, you know, I really like your style. That's disappointing, but you know, I respect that you're not gonna do it." It's really weird, especially when you come to an artist and you try to, I guess, put this out there to make them look worse. And a lot of people will be like, "How do they look bad? You know, it's literally what the artist said," but it's like, you know what the climate is, right? Anyone that says they're not going to do this kind of stuff, they're going to get attacked for it. It's not just a difference of opinion anymore. Some people will be like, "This is a bad person and we need to attack them." Politeness isn't worth more than actually believing LGBTQ folks are the same and should be treated the same as straight folks, but at least it's not hate. I don't know what you mean by that. Like, this is an independent artist. It's not like it's a big company like Apple refusing to sell you a computer because you're gay. It's a tiny artist on Twitter who's just like, "Hey, I don't draw this thing." And for whatever reason they don't draw this thing, they said it respectfully. So I really don't see what the issue would be here. Why would you want your OC, your character, and someone that you love, assumedly, why would you want someone that doesn't want to draw that in charge of drawing your art? Because they won't be able to do it justice because their heart isn't in it. They didn't even say anything about the client being queer. Well, they said Yumi ship, which I'm assuming is like a lesbian couple. Internet Zen Master, thank you. For the record, the artist in question is apparently 19. These people are probably going to make the artist very anti-LGBT. I mean, the amount of attacks they're getting, I would not be surprised if it reinforces any kind of preconceived notions. I don't want to assume there's any, but if there are, if I was in this position, it would definitely reinforce. And then the artist actually responded and they said, "Hey everyone, I didn't expect to be awake with a notification or was expecting to, but I truly didn't expect this would blow up. First of all, I'm very sorry for the disheartening experience of what happened to the fellow past client who had queer couple characters in their reference. I had just opened VGen a few days ago and was not aware of how the system worked. It was completely my fault for not checking and understanding how request submissions are done. I wrote an important note saying do and don't will be discussed in DM since I was used to how other platforms worked, but VGen is different. You have to submit a request first before being able to DM, and this was my fatal mistake. No, I'm not queer-phobic. I'm surrounded by many kind queer people, both in real life and online, who have helped shape me into a kinder person. But apparently, I chose to not engage in activities related to queer relationships while still being friends with queer people. I take full responsibility for the misunderstanding and will make sure this never happens again. I will update and rebuild my page with clear guidelines and info, and I deeply apologize to those who felt uncomfortable because of my lack of awareness. Thank you to everyone who took the time to point it out. I truly appreciate the chance to learn and grow from this, and I hope we can be peaceful. If you still have any questions, please feel free to ask, and I'll try my best to explain and answer them clearly. And I'm pretty sure everyone in the comments is echoing it. I don't think this person had anything else to apologize for. Because, like, anytime you get a commission rejected, unless the artist is, like, a complete fucking tool, you typically just say, okay, dude, that sucks. I really liked your art, but, you know, good luck. You know? The artist is also Muslim from your digging into the tweet. She lives in a country that would hurt her. It's just a really weird situation, and I think people need to get used to getting rejected for things. And just because you've been rejected doesn't mean someone hates you. You know? It's just a really, really weird thing for me to think about. And it looks like also this person might have privated. Yeah, they privated their account, so you can't even like see that tweet anymore. You made the argument that people commissioning furry or lolly or gore would also not have had their commissions fulfilled if the artist is not comfortable drawing those subjects. It's that simple. If the artist is not comfortable, nobody can force them to draw something they're either not familiar with or comfortable with. Well, I think that's a bit different, right? Because like furry or lolly or gore, those would all fall under like fetish stuff for the most part. Lolly conversation's a different conversation, but what the fuck ever. I think my example of that artwork that I got from a guy who typically drew males and was like, hey, you know, I haven't really drawn many woman characters, so I might not be able to do this justice. He could have just declined my commission and I would have been fine with it. I would have been disappointed because I love his art style and I'm very happy he was willing to work with me, but that would have been an example of someone who declined me for being female because they're not capable or they didn't think they were capable of drawing it well enough and they didn't want to be disappointing while taking a payment. And I think that that is how it should be looked at, right? It's disappointing if you like the artist's style, but if they don't want to draw it, if they don't feel comfortable drawing it for whatever reason, you kind of have to respect that. You recognize the name of the guy requesting? This isn't usually a good thing, only tend to remember a name in a bad context. I have no idea who either of these people are. I've never commissioned art from this artist. I've never seen them before. I've never seen the person talking about the artist either. But the only thing I can think of is that they posted this because they wanted the artist to have social repercussion for declining their commission. And that is the climate that we have lived in for a very long time. If you decline to do something for a queer person, you tend to be attacked as being homophobic, transphobic, blah, blah, blah. When that's almost certainly not always the case. In fact, most often is not the case. But Julie, thank you. It's the gay cake all over again. The weirdos complain about forced labor all the time while demanding an artist take their commission. It's probably because they come from the position of like, their worldview is the correct worldview. And since it's the correct and true and real worldview, everyone else must by default believe the same thing. And if you encounter someone who does not believe the same thing, they're either wrong or misinformed or a bad person. So, Tyler Oliveira, the guy whose name I never fucking remember, he is the one who did the documentary on the India poop throwing festival. I think it's Diwali. And he put out this tweet yesterday that says, after much consideration, I have decided I will not be releasing my documentary capturing India's poop throwing festival. I have been doxxed and threatened by thousands of Indians over the last 2 weeks. Tens of thousands of Indians have turned my life into a living hell. My family has been attacked in ways I never could have imagined. Showing up to this poop festival was the worst decision of my life, and I severely underestimated the power of India. Now, see, I thought he was being serious here, and I was like, come on, guy, you never bend the knee to the mob. You never give in to the people threatening you, because once you do, they know that their threats work, and they'll keep doing it. But then, when he said, I severely underestimated the power of India, I was like, this guy's trolling. This guy's fucking trolling, and he's gonna make this the best documentary release he's ever fucking had. There's absolutely no way he's not releasing this after reading that fucking sentence. I am only one man. I cannot defeat the combined power of 1.5 billion Indians who yearn for my destruction. Once again, I cannot wait for him to drop this thing. I simply cannot continue fighting this war and must choose my battles. This one simply isn't worth it. I never meant to offend Indians, their religion, or their culture. I just wanted to participate in this unusual poop-throwing festival and share it for the world to see. I ask that all Indians reading this please leave my family alone. Thank you. Shitposting is a great way to advertise content. Yeah, and there were people who posted, like, PewDiePie's bitch lasagna and were complaining about how racist and, like, fucking sexist it is in current year. And I was like, if you don't think bitch lasagna's a bop, I don't care about your opinions on fucking anything. Holy shit. And I thought that the most interesting reply to this is Dinesh D'Souza, actually. I know him as, like, some book guy. And, like, I follow him. So I was like, what the? This came up on my timeline. He was like, how about commenting on this festival? It seems like the future belongs to the poop throwers. What a very odd thing to say. What a very racist and supremacist thing to say. What do you mean the future belongs to the poop throwers? And he posts a graph that says, here's a bar chart showing the median household income by major racial and ethnic groups in the United States for 2024. And they have Asian and white, non-Hispanic. Wait, why is the white over here? Shouldn't it be over here with the blue? So the pink one is Asian, the blue one is white, non-Hispanic, yellow is Hispanic, and the green one is black. And it's interesting because India is in Asia, and so by the technicality, using wordplay like the British do, yeah, the Indians are Asian. But when you talk about Asians, people think about Korea, China, Japan, Laos, Malaysia, Philippines, right? Like they think about the actual, like, Asians. And so it's a very weird thing to say. And also, even if you took him 100% seriously, you're like, wait a minute, why are foreigners outperforming the Native American population? That's kind of weird. Maybe something should be done about that. So it's like, in every way, shape, and form, he kind of just, like, made the worst possible argument you could. It's good to see Dinesh took a break from whining about group chats. True and real. This just reminds me of that fucking superpower video, man. You are witnessing India becoming a superpower, chat. There's no subtitles in English, so audio bros, don't worry about that. None of us can understand what's going on. Where's the poop? This is after India becomes a superpower. This is a future in which India is a superpower that surpassed the United States.
Oh, these Indian airports are just incredible. So wealthy, and so many white servants.
That's how you know your country's really made it. You have many white servants.
Gorgeous. Wow. Look at this place. It's so modern. And these Indians are so cultured. Their clothing is so beautiful.
I will say, I do really like a lot of the Indian dresses that Indian women wear. They're really pretty.
pounds ಕೊಡ್ಲಾ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ತದೆ ಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್
70,000 pounds ಕೊಡ್ರೆ
2 3 4 5 6 7
Are you a global superpower in the year 2030, Kirsche? Because I want to serve you. That's a fucking great pickup line. Holy shit.
And so many white servants. This must be the most civilized place on Earth.
Yeah, you know, only the most civilized places have enslaved the white people. That's how you know you're civilized, if you manage to tame those cave beasts. Thank you, Yakub.
These Indians are so cultured. Their clothing is so beautiful.
If you see a single toilet, you're losing it.
₹1,000 ಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ಲಾ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ತದೆ ಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್
70,000 pounds ಕೊಡ್ರೆ
2 3 4 5 6 7
Bricks of money.
ಹೋಗಿ ಬನ್ನಿ ಕೊಡ್ರೆ
India's become so wealthy,
Can I just say, like, where would you be able to take out bricks of money from the bank like that and just turn around and walk out with the bricks of money in your hands and have no one attack you?
And so many white servants. This must be the most civilized place on earth.
Take a drink every time they mention the white servants.
ಅಮೆರಿಕನ್ ಡಾಲರ್ನ ಟಿಪ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀಯಾ?
No, sir. Only Indian rupees.
ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಡಾಲರ್ಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. $1 ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೂ $80 ಆಗಿದೆ. ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಡಾಲರ್ ಉಂಟು, ಎಲ್ಲ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಅದು.
Oh,
I try to catch a rich Indian babe.
Good idea.
Super Lakshmi, so I can settle here in India.
I need the rich Indian babe, Super Lakshmi.
50 rupees per month. That's really great, man. I want to learn Canada.
No Canada, no respect.
You're true. No Canada, no respect. I agree with him.
Brother, help me. 50 paisa.
50 paisa, please. 50 paisa, please. Brother. Please, brother. Please.
Please, brother. Please, sister. I am poor white beggar. Please. Please, mother. Please, rupee. Need rupee. American dollar worthless. Please, sister.
God bless you.
look at them. Disgusting. What a shame. Poor white people.
Mother, thank you.
Don't touch me, I'll kill you, motherfucker.
Why did he say, don't touch me, I kill you, motherfucker? What the fuck? What the hell? Men fighting over a Facebook post with bobs visible.
Namaste, please. Come to my Ferrari, sir. My customer. Namaste, sir. Come this way, please.
So what you're getting at is that the number of white people in a civilization determines how well off it is, only if you're able to enslave the white people. That's how that works here.
Sir, namaste. Come, sir. Namaste.
Crazy white people, they can never be civilized like these Indians. Fighting over scraps. These poor white people.
Sister, brother, help me. Please, 50 paisa. Please, sister, brother, father, mother.
So sad to see in a country of such wealth.
I love how the white beggars talk like a fucking Chinese Amazon product headline.
Sir, namaste.
crazy.
Please come, sir. I'll show you Karnataka.
No one's even bothering with me. Strange.
Please come inside, sir. Get inside, sir.
Sister, brother, help
No
me.
thanks. Damn beggars. Can you take me to Bengaluru? Bengaluru, please.
Yeah, I can take you, but no foreign currency,
I
no
have
dollar,
rupees.
no pound.
Indian rupees. Come.
No dollar, no pound, Western currency worthless, only Indian rupee. Rupee top currency, global currency. The taxi drivers are so racist, they refuse to serve white people. That's the future! The more racist towards white people you are, the more successful you are. It just makes sense. Nice elephant.
Wow. Those Indian taxis are so fast. Hey, I down soda. That's beautiful.
The movie looks like it was shot in the 90s. The movie was shot in 2010.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Madam, Kaveri, water for you?
No.
What?
This India is really beautiful.
This
So clean.
India?
Kadlikay, gadambi, nipatu, gadambi.
ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ಪಾಪ ಬಿಳಿ ಜನರಿಗೂ ಸಹಾಯ ಆದಂಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಏನಮ್ಮ ಗೋಡಂಬಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀಯಾ
Enema?
Lovely day. Namaskara, Swami.
Namaskara. Please be seated.
Dhanyavad.
What can I do for you?
Kshemasi, Swami. Nanna nodi, nanna banna nodi. Aparta madkobedi. Nanuba vidyavanta. Kannadadali MA Mardidini. Kannada chanagi barute.
ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರು
Nana hesaru Edward Thackeray. Patrakarta.
I can't
Angla
understand
Nardinda
him.
Bandidane.
ಸಂತೋಷ. ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಸಂಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ರಾಯಣ್ಣ ಅಂತ. ಹೇಳಿ ನನ್ನಿಂದ ಏನ ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು?
Royanore, ನಾನು ಈ ವಿಲಾಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡುವೀರಾ?
ಖಂಡಿತ.
Candida? Oh, how advanced!
Wow! How can it be possible? You are very fast, Mr. Ryan. It's so cool.
Namaste, sir. Where can I take you?
ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಿ, ಈತ ಅವಿದ್ಯಾವಂತ. ಈತನಿಗೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಬರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ನೀವು
Wow,
ಇವನೊಂದಿಗೆ
they have
ಆಂಗ್ಲ
cars.
ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾತನಾಡಬೇಕು. ನೀವಿನ್ನು ಹೊರಡಬಹುದು.
Adirali Tahu.
Tau?
ನಾನು ಈ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ.
What is happening?
ಸಚಿವ ವೀರ್ ಸಾವರ್ಕರ್ ಅವರ ಹೇಳಿ.
Is this what happens when you redeem and that's why they don't want you to redeem?
Yes? Please come in.
What is this music? Look, white servants!
Namaskar.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
Nanu Lal Bahadur Shastri.
I guess it ends there. Someone said that the woman's magazine looked like it had Hitler in it. Hold on, wait a minute. That looks more like fucking Hussein or Gaddafi rather than Hitler. The mustache is too wide. I don't know how we got to this tangent, but this video got stuck in my head. Oh yeah, Dinesh D'Souza. I went out of my DMs on Twitter and I saw an Asmongold post and what did I just read? Dick eaters literally cannot stop eating dicks. They are addicted to eating dicks. If you build 100 bridges and you suck one dick, you're not a bridge builder, you're a dick sucker. If you build one bridge and you suck 100 dicks, you're Blizzard. What the fuck?
No. He's got a point.
Blizzard has confirmed that Hearthsteel is a new real money currency used to buy housing. Oh, new currency. I understand his post entirely now. I understand. Also, he's very correct. You could build the biggest and most beautiful bridge in the whole world, but if you suck a dick, you're known as the dick sucker that built a bridge, man. That's just how life is. Blizzard shut it down. Wow, it's so shit. Holy crap. I am sad that I never got to experience peak WoW, but also I was a graphics whore, so it was never meant to be. Hold my beer, gaming industry. You fuck one goat. I'm looking at you, Colombia, and you donkeys. 3 Chinese national scholars from the University of Michigan laboratory charged for conspiring to smuggle biological materials into the U.S. 3 research scholars from the People's Republic of China were charged today in a criminal complaint with conspiracy to smuggle biological materials into the United States and for making false statements to U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers, announced the U.S. Attorney Jerome Gorgon Jr. These are the latest charges in a long string of cases stemming from University of Michigan international research activities. Considering that we have research labs in China and that's how COVID happened, do we really even need them to be smuggling stuff into the United States? Like, why are they trying to smuggle biological material when they can just release it like what happened with COVID, man? Like, I'm just saying, it seems like that was way more efficient and you wouldn't get charged with anything. Allegedly, attempting to smuggle biological materials under the guise of research is a serious crime that threatens America's national and agricultural security, said Attorney General Pam Bondi. The way that this is worded is really funny. Like, she's not sure if it's a serious crime or not. We will remain vigilant to threats like these from foreign nationals who would take advantage of America's generosity to advance a malicious agenda. 3 Chinese nationals are charged with smuggling dangerous biological materials into the country and made false statements to law enforcement, said Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem. Thanks to our brave DHS law enforcement and the FBI, they no longer pose a national security threat. Under President Trump's leadership, we are ensuring foreign criminals cannot abuse our visa programs to harm the American people. At some point, pattern becomes practice, and apparently, these 3 men are part of a long and alarming pattern of criminal activities committed by Chinese nationals under the cover of the University of Michigan. This is a threat to our collective security, and we are thankful for the vigilance of our elite federal partners, ICE, HSI, FBI, and the CBP, as a counterweight against this threat. Charged were Zhu Bai, 28, Fengfan Zhang, 27, and Jian Zhang, 30. Bai and F. Zhang were charged with conspiracy to smuggle biological materials into the U.S., and Z. Zhang was charged with making false statements to federal agents. All three men were research scholars holding J-1 visas who were conducting research at the UM laboratory of Zhanjiangzhou, commonly referred to as the Shanzhou Laboratory. According to the criminal complaint, in 2024 and 25, Bai and F. Zhang were the recipients of multiple shipments containing concealed biological materials related to roundworms, which had been sent from the PRC to the United States by Shengzhuan Han, a citizen of the PRC. Han was pursuing a PhD from the College of Life Science and Technology and the Huazhong University of Science and Tech in Wuhan mentioned, PRC, and in June 2025, traveled to the U.S. to work in the laboratory at UM. Han recently pleaded no contest to 3 counts of smuggling and 1 count of false statements, was sentenced and then removed from the United States. After Han's arrest and removal from the U.S., initiated an internal investigation into the Shanzhou laboratory. All 3 defendants refused to attend a mandatory meeting or participate in the investigation, and so were terminated. This termination made them eligible for removal by the Department of Homeland Security. I do find it a little weird that they were even offered to, attend a mandatory meeting instead of just being terminated in the first place. I don't know, that seems a little weird. The defendants purchased airline tickets to depart the U.S. from Detroit Metropolitan Airport to the PRC on October 20th, 25. On October 10th, federal agents attempted to locate the defendants at their home and elsewhere, but were unsuccessful. That same day, the defendants rebooked their flights for October 15th. They also booked flights to the PRC departing from John F. Kennedy International Airport for 2 a.m. on October 16th. The defendants did not cancel or show for their DTW flight on October 15th. Defendants traveled to New York and attempted to board the early morning JFK flight to the PRC on October 16th. That's crazy. They knew how fucked they were, that they were booking multiple flights as a way to try and escape and get out. That's nuts. They are premeditated as hell, dude. During an inspection by CPB, Z Zhang made false statements about Han, Bai, and F Zhang, and told CBP officers that they had received packages from Han, including after her arrest or removal from the US. This case underscores the vital importance of safeguarding the American people and addressing vulnerabilities within foreign student and exchange visitor programs, stated Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons. Educational institutions must enhance their admissions procedures to prevent exploitation, which can pose risks to national security, as demonstrated in this instance. I commend the ICE HSI agents and officers who work tirelessly to protect our nation and uphold the rule of law every day. These charges show the FBI and our partners will aggressively investigate and hold accountable those who violate our laws, and that academic research cannot excuse illegal activity, FBI Director Kash Patel said. The Chinese nationals charged today allegedly were involved in smuggling biological materials into the U.S. on several occasions. The FBI and our partners are committed to defending the homeland and stopping any illegal smuggling into our country. ICE HSI remains steadfast in its mission to protect the homeland from malicious foreign actors, said ICE HSI Detroit Acting Special Agent in Charge, Matthew Stentz. These cases impact both the safety of Michigan communities and our national security. Our agents, in collaboration with law enforcement partners, are dedicated to preventing our communities and educational institutions from being exploited against the American people. The actions taken by the FBI and law enforcement partners reflect our firm commitment to protecting the American people, defending the homeland, and prioritizing national security. Just a little bit more foreign actors continue to seek ways to exploit vulnerabilities, just more of repeating what they have been saying. So very glad these people have been caught, but I wonder how many more there are. Much like the guy under Mayor Wu in Boston who finally got caught with like a gajillion kilos of cocaine. How many had he successfully trafficked before getting caught? How much biological material have Chinese nationals been able to smuggle into the US without being caught at this point? So Sydney Sweeny had an interview recently, apparently.
Criticism of the content, which was basically that
I love her facial expression during this.
Climate, like, white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. Like, that was kind of like the criticism, broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
Masterclass in deflection? Random clothing model has more balls than every man in the Republican Party? I also really like how this fucking crazy ideological woman frames it as like white supremacy when it was literally just talking about it was a genes joke. Just because she has good genes doesn't mean other people also don't have good genes. The way that they twist themselves into pretzels to try and make this into something that it's not is rather insane to me. And I saw this person, Hunter Ash. I don't know who this guy is. But I saw his tweet and I thought that it was very interesting. He said, "The thing you have to remember about this woman and those like her is that she genuinely doesn't know that anyone disagrees with her basic worldview. She doesn't even see it as a worldview. It's just the obvious truth. Of course, she knows abstractly that half the country voted for Trump, but those aren't people. Those are cartoon characters. They're either fat, slobbering rednecks in Klan hoods or mustache-twirling robber barons manipulating the rednecks for profit. Her mental models of them are less complex than her mental model of a squirrel. Anyone she might actually sit down and talk to is, of course, a person, and therefore agrees with the obvious truth. It is inconceivable to her that anyone capable of being a pleasant dinner party guest would not share her basic beliefs and values. She wasn't trying to do a gotcha or extract a pledge of fealty. She was certain that Sydney Sweeny is a person, and therefore only got mixed up in the whole genes fiasco by mistake. She was trying to do Sydney a favor by giving her a chance to clarify that she is, in fact, a human being who agrees with the things all real people agree with." And I think this is a very interesting perspective on it, and an interesting perspective on how to view propagandized people that cannot live in objective reality. They have been severed from the capabilities of seeing what their eyes see and hearing what their eyes or ears hear. They are just incapable of modeling any kind of worldview other than the stimuli that they have been used to causing triggers in them. And so I thought it was a very interesting way to say it. And then someone else responded here and said, "This is sort of my point with disliking the term suicidal empathy. This interviewer has zero empathy, no theory of mind, and unironically blank slate for her ideology." An ironically blank slate for her ideology. Yet she's tagged as suicidally empathetic, I'm sure. The NPC meme couldn't be more appropriate. And he continues where he links something that he posted the other day, where it says, "I've never been a fan of the term suicidal empathy from a semantic standpoint since those displaying it express pathological altruism and martyrdom at best. Take the most moderate activist you know, they likely could never empathize with the perspective of a sensitive young right-wing male. So why do they get the label of suicidally empathetic? I'm relenting on this. It's a pretty good poetic shorthand, and we all know what it means by now." And I mean, I get it. It is kind of arguing semantics, but it's also... I agree that it's not actual empathy, it's performative empathy. And I think maybe we call it suicidal empathy because when we try to model the minds of people we disagree with, we see them as possibly genuinely believing that they're doing good thing, that they are good person, that they're just misguided, that the path to hell is paved with good intentions. But what if that's not true? What if they are just a blank slate, unable to model any kind of worldview besides what they have been told? What if they don't know what empathy actually is, but they just model it, and when they're told to be empathetic to a certain group of people, that makes them feel like they know what empathy actually is? It's a very, very interesting way to go about it. And it's not even like I see someone in chat saying suicidally empathetic to the out-group. It's less like out-group, in-group, and more that they cannot even perceive out-group, in-group. That they cannot understand that regardless of what they have been fed propagandistically, they are part of certain boxes that they will be put in by the people that they even champion, right? If you as a, let's say, white woman decide to usher in a bunch of people who hate you, hate what you stand for, see you as cattle, and will seek to rape and murder you, to us with functioning worldviews, it is no surprise that when someone who says, "I want to rape and murder you," then goes on to rape and murder them. But to these people, much like we saw with, I can't remember if it was Michigan or Minneapolis, they're both turning into caliphates so fast, but one of them, the city council, when they said no more LGBT pride flags, no more pride marches, no more pride parades, no more pride at all, the LGBT ex-councilwoman was like, But we did all of these things to help you. We fed you, we clothed you, we found you homes. Why are you backstabbing us? They can't understand that when those people say, I hate you and I want you dead, they mean it. They believe that because they've been told to be empathetic to those people, that empathy will reign true and that those people will become their allies. They believe that they are fighting something that isn't actually real, and they're ushering in their own destruction based on this false model of empathy that they have been fed. It's a very, very interesting thing, and I have no idea who these people are, but these tweets just came across my feed, and I thought it would be an interesting kind of way to explore. Interesting analysis, so one that you're inclined to agree with. You think the colloquial use of the term is still imminently useful, but it's good to be aware that these people are unironically head empty while thinking that they're not. Yeah, I think like he said, at the end here, it's pretty good poetic shorthand to say like suicidally empathetic. And I'm pretty sure most of us understand that when we say suicidally empathetic, the people that we're calling that aren't actually empathetic. Because if they were empathetic, they would feel more towards the victims of crime rather than the criminals themselves, but that's never the case. White House Chief of Staff, or White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy and Homeland Security, his response to this video that I'm going to play is, understand what our immigration system has done to us. And that's really weird. That's like something I would say as a content creator. This guy is the deputy chief of staff at the White House. He can actually do something about this. He's in a position to do something instead of just hope to inform more people about what's going on. And if people in the positions of power to actually do something are only doing what those of us who aren't in a position of power are capable of doing, then nothing's actually going to get done. And it makes me a bit worried, Miller may be the only guy who actually knows what time it is. Sadly, he doesn't have absolute power. He needs to do more. A lot of people need to be doing more.
I always vote since I became a citizen, and that was 20 years ago. And I migrated from Kenya originally. My family is back home in Kenya, and how I see how things are going on, like with families being separated. As a human being, as a mother, separating families, especially children, from their mothers or fathers, I don't believe in that. So that made me come out and also come and vote.
So that's one big issue. Another one is the government shutdown. Tens of thousands of government workers live here in Loudoun County. A lot of them told us that.
So this is a woman who is a legal immigrant. She came from Kenya. Her entire family is back in Kenya. And she voted for Spanberger. Spanberger being the Virginia governor who stood behind Jay Jones, who said he wants to, instead of killing Hitler or Pol Pot, kill his political opponent. And he also wants to see little fascists, aka Republican children, die in their parents' arms. This is where we are at. These are the people that are being voted in by the Democrats. She's upset that families might get separated while we figure out if children might be being human trafficked, but she wants to vote for the people that want to see actual American children dead and their political opponents facing violence. The right needs to get more extreme and grow a fucking spine. Republicans need to grow a fucking spine really fucking quick, because there will not be an actual Republican Party if we get through Trump's entire term and none of this is even attempted to be fixed. She says this while she's separated from her family and she left them behind in a country she clearly views as worse because she's here and not there. Exactly. She came here to loot America, not be an assimilated citizen. Very true, unfortunately. Battleizer, thank you. That's concerning and horrifying. It is. It really is. Republicans should stop bitching at each other by now. But the group chats! What about the off-color jokes in the private group chat? Emperor Creatine, thank you. A little bit of breaking news. Allegedly, the person who left a pipe bomb at January 6th has been identified, and the suspect is a DC cop. There's no fucking way! The play is accountability. Real accountability, not another DC cover-up. Now that alleged identity of the January 6th pipe bomber, Shawnee Kirkhoff, really? 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 His last name is Kirkhoff? Really? 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 And we don't live in a simulation. Okay. is finally being forced into the light. Every single person connected to that operation needs to be exposed and indicted. Let's stop pretending this was some lone actor. Nothing about January 6th happened in a vacuum. There were networks, there were handlers, there were people who knew exactly what was happening and when. They inflicted psychological warfare on the American public. They weaponized chaos, they shattered lives, including mine. They do not get to walk away from that. No more excuses, no more classified, no more carefully scripted press conferences. Names, charges, trials now. And I guess this is the bomber guy. Capitol Hill Club. This is the most AI looking person ever. It really does look like AI. It really feels like January 6th was this sort of mostly manufactured event, especially when you look at how they spliced clips about Trump talking about it as well. It just seems like, again, with like police letting people into the barricades, the only person actually getting shot being Ashley Babbitt, the amount of feds who were in the crowd that day wandering around, this pipe bomb person also apparently being implicated as somebody who knew what was going on. It feels like they wanted to make this into something that would rally the left and solidify people on the right as the enemy class, no matter what. And if we're the enemy class, no matter what, then regardless of being called fascist or Nazi, it's okay to perpetrate things against us, which is why Democrats who want conservatives dead are winning elections by and large. In a very strange thing that I never could have predicted happening, Donald Trump, this was back on November 1st, Donald Trump said, Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for the mass slaughter. I'm hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern. But that is the least of it. When Christians or any such group are slaughtered like is happening in Nigeria, 3,100 versus 4,476 worldwide, something must be done. I'm asking Congressman Riley Moore, together with Chairman Tom Cole, and the House Appropriations Committee to immediately look into this matter and report back to me. The United States cannot stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria and numerous other countries. We stand ready, willing, and able to save our great Christian population around the world. And I remember reading an article about the Christian persecution and slaughter in Nigeria a couple of weeks ago, which also involved the kidnapping and beheading of priests. And the last person I ever would have expected to tweet about this, Nicki fucking Minaj, tweeting out what Donald Trump said. And she said, reading this made me feel a deep sense of gratitude. We live in a country where we can freely worship God. No group should ever be persecuted for practicing their religion. We don't have to share the same beliefs in order for us to respect each other. Numerous countries all around the world are being affected by this horror, and it's dangerous to pretend we don't notice. Thank you to the president and his team for taking this seriously. God bless every persecuted Christian. Let's remember to lift them up in prayer. And at this point, I have to say that every female rapper I've enjoyed, I'm undefeated. I'm undefeated with picking the correct ones. This is fucking nuts to hear out of Nicki Minaj. I almost never see her post anything about politics. Nicki Minaj is the new lion-hearted ruler of Christendom. We'll crusade with Nicki as our leader. Oh my god. And apparently she got a metric fuck ton of backlash for this. There were so many people angry at her. And so her response was to post this. Just a picture of her looking out and all caps seethe with a bunch of exclamation points. Actually, you actually agree with Nicki Minaj. What timeline did you think that would happen in, right? I just thought that was a really funny, very interesting thing coming out of Nicki Minaj. So I wanted to touch on that for a second. Said ICE is now dragging daycare teachers out of their classrooms. Is that what you voted for, MAGA? Is it? And in my head, I was just like, well, she wasn't a daycare worker, but even if she was, yes, that is what I voted for. Why would you want illegals teaching your children? But this person here said, ICE did not target a daycare teacher. Agents attempted to stop a vehicle registered to a Colombian illegal alien, but the male driver refused to pull over. After a chase, the pair fled into a daycare, endangering children inside. The woman was arrested in the vestibule, not inside the school, and gave a false identity. And for a longer write-up, you had the Washington Post here doing what mass media does best and just lying to everyone. Armed ICE officers arrested a teacher early Wednesday in Chicago after chasing her onto the grounds of a private preschool and grabbing her as parents and students looked on, according to a local official and witnesses. And this is what you'll see for almost every single article headline about this situation. They all call her a preschool teacher or a teacher of some sort. And they all say that ICE went into the facility and arrested a teacher. And so you have Homeland Security's here saying, how do you people sleep at night after lying all day to the American people like this? ICE law enforcement did not target a daycare and were only at this location because the female illegal alien fled inside. To be fair, a female illegal alien running into a daycare is probably just as qualified as most communists who are actually teachers in current year, but I digress. They say, here is the real story. Officers attempted to conduct a targeted traffic stop of this female illegal alien from Colombia. Officers attempted to pull over this vehicle, which was registered to a female illegal alien, with sirens and emergency lights, but the male driver refused to pull the vehicle over. Law enforcement pursued the vehicle before the assailant sped into a shopping plaza where he and the female passenger fled the vehicle. They ran into a daycare and attempted to barricade themselves inside the daycare, recklessly endangering the children inside. The illegal alien female was arrested inside a vestibule, not in the school, and upon arrest, she lied about her identity. The vehicle is registered in her name, though she claims that she didn't know the man who was driving her car and just picked him up from a bus stop. How did she pick him up from a bus stop if he was the one driving? All these people know how to do is lie. The witnesses are lying. The news people are lying. The illegals, obviously, they already broke the law. They don't give a shit. They're lying. Facts, including criminality and information on the male assailant, are forthcoming, and we will update the public with more information as soon as it becomes available.